Hi, my name is Mitchell Bogas. This is my wife. We both have COVID, so we're going to be recording this here. So pardon the coughing if there's any coughing. I'm sorry about that. So let's begin here. Hi, Hector. How are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Great.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, before we begin our first session here, there are a couple things that I need to go over. The first thing here is the counseling informed consent to record. Excuse me. Did you?
Yeah, I
sign?
signed that, right?
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you were aware of everything that we're actually recording?
Yeah,
right
we're
now?
recording now.
Okay.
That's fine.
Perfect. Well, I also needed to go over the limits of confidentiality. Obviously, as your therapist, there's nothing I want more than to keep everything that you tell me between us. And that's my goal, but there are a couple things that might interfere with that.
Okay.
One of those is if I receive a judge-issued court order. One would be if you told me anything about, abusing a minor or, an elderly person or something along those lines, I would have to say that. Another thing is I have a supervisor, her name is Letitia Powell. So she may review our case documents together. You consent to all of those things?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about you, and I know that you got a referral here, but maybe you could tell me a little bit about why you think that you're here.
Well, I had an accident a couple months ago, and I still can't. I can't walk right. I'm in pain all the time with my hip. I have to use the cane that I came in with, and
Sorry.
it, and my family's just said that they're worried about me, and that we're seeing a doctor, and I can't do the things that I used to
So why would you say that your family's worried about
do. Well, like after surgery, I was trying to get her everything. Pain was really bad. I was trying to be good about like not taking painkillers, not being addicted to stuff. My family has said that they're worried about my drinking. I know that I've been drinking more than I used to. I don't do as much other stuff that I used
it? Well, what would you say you're doing these days?
I'm home. I'm trying to adjust to not moving around as much.
Yeah.
I can't go to work. Um, my wife is kind of paying all the bills, and
No,
that bothers me.
that's,
Can't really take care of the kids as well. It's a lot.
how does it feel not being able to go to work right now?
I hate it. I mean, I work in construction, uh, and I really like it. I'm good at it. It's my family's business, so my dad does it, brothers, cousins, and like the plan was to take over the business. Like this was gonna be kind of laid out. And my other brothers don't really like it. One's going to school, but I'm good at it, and I like doing it. It was there's a plan, and I've taken care of my family, and now they're saying you probably can't do it anymore at all. And I don't know what to do.
Makes sense. So you don't know what to do. You can't do that anymore. That makes total sense. Well, circling back a little bit to your drinking that brought you in today, would you be willing to do? I have an assessment here called audit. It's the alcohol use disorders identification test. Would you be willing to do that to assess your level of drinking?
Okay.
Well, it's just a series of 10 questions here, and I can just ask them to you just one at a time. Well, the first one here says, how often do you have a drink containing alcohol? And it's versus never, monthly or less, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 to 3 times a week, or 4 or more times a week?
4 or more times a week.
And how many drinks containing alcohol do you have on a typical day when you're drinking? Is it 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9? Okay. So would you say it's 4 or 5 if you had to choose?
4.
How often do you have 6 or more drinks on one occasion? Never less than monthly, weekly, or daily. Weekly. Great. All right, and how often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you started? Never, less than monthly, weekly, daily, or almost daily?
Can you repeat that one?
Absolutely, yeah. So how often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you started? And then the first is never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, or almost daily.
Monthly?
Okay. Sorry, 6 more of these. Sorry about the length of this thing. How often during the last year have you failed to do what was normally expected from you because of your drinking? Never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, or almost.
We have a drinking?
Yeah.
Maybe weekly?
Weekly. All right, and how often during the last year have you needed a first drink in the morning to get yourself going after a heavy drinking session? And then same category, never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, or almost daily. Weekly. And then how often during the last year have you had a feeling of guilt or remorse after drinking? Never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, or almost daily.
Weekly.
And how often during the last year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because you had been drinking? Never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, or almost daily.
Monthly?
Monthly. And then have you ever injured yourself or someone else as a result of your drinking?
No.
Okay. And then last one, you're almost there. Has a relative or friend or doctor or a health worker been concerned about your drinking? Suggested that you cut.
Yeah.
Well, we have no, yes, but not in the last year, and yes during the last year.
Yes, during the last year. That's why I'm here today.
Well, you have a score of 25, and what that means, we have the categories here. This is your risk for alcohol dependency, and we have 0 to 7 is low, 8 to 17 is medium, 16 to 19 is high. You have a 25, and addiction being likely already is 20 to 40. How does that make you feel, knowing that you might be in that higher likelihood there?
Not good.
No.
I mean, my family's been saying they're worried and I come and trying to move through things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, putting this was the problem. I mean, I read the problem feeling the problem.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm using alcohol to cope with stuff. Your paper, that's it.
But I think you kind of said it when you said you find move through things. And that's kind of what I want to do here today, just we've established a little bit of, some of the problem here. And I think the next step is to kind of think about what we need to do to get back on track. Think about those goals that you want to set for yourself now that you're in this situation here. So I think one of the ways that we can begin, if you'd like, is maybe you could tell me about if you do have this problem in the future, maybe something else that you might enjoy doing. Is there anything else that you can enjoy doing, or is it mostly construction? Any answer is fine.
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I don't really like school. Wasn't my thing. And I like creating, I like building.
Yeah.
So maybe something that isn't, I don't know, isn't a lot of school. Um, And I like not being in an office.
Absolutely. Well, I know that you really enjoy construction. One thing that occurred to me was, your family has the construction company. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Is there anything available perhaps in a managerial position or something along those lines? Would that be something that you might be interested in?
I didn't even really think about it. I didn't want to ask for something to know because.
No.
And then. My wife, dad, everyone's been talking about me. They keep saying they're worried about my drinking and they're worried about like me.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to acknowledge that, but I don't even know if I'm going to be willing to put me in that role. Like if they trust me enough right now.
No. Well, I think that might be a little bit of defeatist thinking, right? I mean, you don't know if they trust you. And I totally understand that. But I think if it's something that you might be happy doing, and I don't know, you haven't told me if that's something you might be happy, but if it is, I mean, you shouldn't deny yourself that possibility.
That's true. I mean, I'm like,
I mean, I'm only suggesting certain pathways for you, just opening some goals. What I really want to do with this session is just kind of get started thinking about some possible future that you can start planning toward, that you can start working toward.
I want to work.
Yeah, I think you do.
I don't like just freeloading. So,
And you
yeah,
mentioned that you want to provide for your family and that it's hard for you to be, having your wife work when you're not working. I can totally understand. But given what we've talked about, do you feel like you kind of have a little bit better idea of what you might be looking forward to?
yeah, like, I've always viewed the job I was doing was the job to do,
Absolutely.
but I didn't really think about other alternatives, like even within the business.
Well, I think that should be your folder. We're actually wrapping up a little bit here, maybe a minute or two, but I think your homework is just maybe take a pen and paper and write out some possible futures, some possible ideas, and no idea is a bad one. What I really want is for you to see something that you can get excited about. That I don't know exactly what's going to happen with physical therapy. I don't know any of that, nor does anyone. But I think just getting in that mindset of there is something exciting in your life or something that you can move toward. I think that'd be really helpful for you. Would you do that?
Yeah. I can do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Hector. I really appreciate it. You've shared a lot with me. Would you be open to another session next week?
Yeah.
Does this time work for you as well?
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.